Cujo, his kids, a kid named Toulouse, a frustrated Ruff, and a group of Sabres, all part of Buffalo versus Toronto, the storyline that kicks off 2009. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Molson Canadian Leaf Nation Pregame. I'm Jody Vance, and this is Leaf Nation HQ. Very pleased to be joined, as always, by play-by-play man Joe Bowen, former Marlies captain and our hockey analyst Mark Morrow, and our senior reporter Paul Henrik. Thanks for being here, gentlemen. Lots to cover off as we count down to the puck drop. This game right here on LeafsTV, so just toss the remote aside. In fact, you won't even need it during intermissions, as Paul Henrik conducted an interview you don't want to miss with both Coach Ron Wilson and GM Brian Burke, where they cover the team, their history, their friendship, and much, much more. So stay tuned during the intermissions of tonight's game. Lots to cover off, as mentioned, and it all starts with the headlines brought to you by Ford, powered by you. Paul?
Jody, headline number one, building on number 450. Cujo looking for that second straight win this season. Missing offense, mounting injuries. Jeremy Williams suddenly out of the lineup with a bruised shoulder and shutting down Thomas Vanek. No doubting Thomas, he has been struggling as of late, but still very dangerous whenever he steps onto the ice. Joe Bowen, we had a chance to see Curtis Joseph join this team back in the fall of 1998. He brought nothing but instant credibility to this team. We were all happy for him on Tuesday evening.
We sure were, and my New Year's resolution this year is to become a senior reporter, just like you. But the one thing about Curtis Joseph that you really had to be pulling for him the other night was the fact of trying to win his 450th game after he had struggled. And it was a really vintage performance by Curtis Joseph, I thought. He was out challenging. Talked to him after the game, and he really felt that he was in the zone, that he had full concentration as to what he was trying to do. He was out challenging all the time. Got a little unlucky on the second goal, but he certainly came up big on that breakaway. And then 450 wins, courtesy of the overtime win by Pavel Kabina. I felt like a father wanting to hug him in the dressing room afterward when I saw him, but his kids were too busy hugging him too. So I was just proud as punch for him. This is a quality guy.
And not only was it a celebration from 450, it was like this huge monkey finally got off his back because it was win number one on the year for him. And like you said, it's been a frustrating year for him, bit of a roller coaster ride, and then this milestone third became this momentous occasion after each start, and not another win, and then all of a sudden, is he going to do it? Can he do it? Will he do it? And then finally, now it's like this big sigh of relief. He did it. Let's go. Now let's go play hockey. Let's start the new year off right.
Headline number two, missing offense, mounting injuries. Jeremy Williams now out of the lineup on a day-to-day basis. The problem, a bruised shoulder. And Joe, 5 goals in 10 games for this guy. He's worked so hard to get back. This is a bit of a difficult setback for young Jeremy.
Yes, but the good news is he'll be coming back into the lineup after a layoff, and that usually means he scores in his first game back. So that will work out quite well, but it is too bad. The good news is, though, that it is just a bruise, because initially I thought it might be a lot more damaging. It might have been a situation where he was, separated it or dislocated it. But it is a bruised shoulder, so it won't be too long before he's back in the lineup. He's played well on that line and done very, very well.
He has, and now it's an opportunity for Jiri Toulouse to come in and try and step in under those same guidelines and fill that role. And it's a huge opportunity for him to prove himself. But the way that line's been going, if he can go in and contribute like Jeremy Williams was, then we're going to have another special story with Jiri Toulouse as well.
Well, earlier today, head coach Ron Wilson addressed the media about the mounting injuries, what they have to do, and about recent call-up Jiri Toulouse and the opportunity at hand for the young Czech.
Day to day, see how he feels today. He didn't skate. Maybe he'll be able to get on the ice tomorrow. But, it gives Jiri Toulouse an opportunity. And, Jiri's job is to make sure that Williams doesn't get back in the lineup. That's the challenge you always have for a player coming in, just like Jeremy came in and has earned a spot, at least for now, until his injury. And now Toulouse has an opportunity to earn some playing time. He'll get plenty of opportunities tonight, and it's up to him to play well.
Well, this is the third time this season that Jiri Toulouse will get a chance to stick with the Toronto Maple Leafs, Joe, and he's played well with the Toronto Marlies, but as Ron said, they're dangling the carrot. Go out there and bite it.
No, and Ron Wilson brought up a point also in the press conference saying that maybe Jiri Toulouse was a little more complacent in the offseason and didn't work as hard as he should have as far as his conditioning was concerned. So now he feels that he's gotten his game back while he's playing with the Marlies, and maybe now he can get things going in the right direction. And that's up to Jiri Toulouse. But the other thing that's being demonstrated is and certainly Brian Burke is finding this out, is that the cupboard is not bare by any stretch of the imagination. There is some depth in the organization.
He also spoke, Ron Wilson did yesterday, Joe, about a sense of entitlement perhaps with some of the players that have been around here. I'm not saying that Yuri maybe felt he was entitled to a place with this hockey team, but he's had to prove himself all over again this season, Mark.
He has, and I think the argument can be made that he definitely felt comfortable coming into training camp this year after playing 58 games last year, like you talked about, Joe. And all of a sudden, guys like John Mitchell sort of earned that spot that was, he thought, probably was rightfully his. And then the call-ups came, and it was Devo, and it was Williams. Yes, he had a 2-game stint in there in between, but he just didn't step up and really show anything just yet. And quite frankly, when he went down to the Marlies, all those scouting reports have him as starting slow there as well. And it seemed like it took him a long time to really get the wake-up call kicked into gear this year. But it seems like he has with the Marlies lately, and hopefully he can carry that forward now with the Leafs.
Well, there'll be plenty of inspiration in the stands for Yuri tonight. He has his mom, his dad, and his sister watching on, so good luck to Yuri Tlusty against the Sabres. The Maison de Bow Wow, as far as Lindy Ruff is concerned, is growing in Buffalo, and Joe Thomas-Vanek among several in it right now. He has 1 goal in his last 7 games, but we all know when Thomas steps onto the ice, he is always dangerous.
I thought it was a Chateau Bow Wow.
Well,
it's a Maison Bow
Maison
Wow.
Bow Wow. French
Same
immersion.
diff.
Same idea. I
Different
suppose.
route.
Yeah, exactly. He's actually going to win the Cy Young Award, it looks, 25-7 at this particular point. But Thomas Vanek has always been a streak shooter. And last year, of course, after signing the big contract, he was in a situation where he really struggled in the early going. Second half of the season, he was on fire. And I think Thomas Vanek is just a stride away maybe from making sure that he gets back into the swing of things. This is a real proven and a natural goal scorer. And right now, with the contract situation that he's been bestowed, he's pretty much the face of the franchise along with Ryan Miller.
You look back to December the 22nd, and Vanek was in a game against Pittsburgh, had 8 shots on goal. So he gets prepared for the Maple Leafs tonight. And as I mentioned, he is struggling as of late, but always dangerous when he steps onto the ice and still is en route to perhaps having a career season here. He compared last season to this season and why things have gone better for him this season.
I don't know if anything's different, really. I think the second half last year played pretty well, and I concentrated on this year to be a little bit more consistent, and it's been working a little better this year.
Looking at the team, wanting it to be a little bit more consistent too. Started off strong, had a bit of a stretch there where it was going down. What does it take to get it level and getting those consistent wins?
This league's tough. It's tough to win, and I don't think we're one of the top teams, and I think we know that. And I think at one point at a time, I think we can get there. But I think we have to be, like you said, more consistent and, not win one, lose one, and so on. I think we got to put a streak together here where we can, win 5-6 in a row and then maybe lose one and then, put the same streak again. I think until we do that, we'll be average and we'll be middle of the pack.
Those Sabres are a hungry crew, and that means they're dangerous. We'll be watching out for them tonight right here on Leafs TV. It's a game you'll see in high definition. And as mentioned off the top of the show, Paul, you had an opportunity to sit down with GM Brian Burke and head coach Ron Wilson in a candid interview.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I don't think Ron and Brian have ever been interviewed together same time, so this was an interesting opportunity for myself and we here at Leafs TV. And for all of us who know Ron Wilson on this hockey team, he is one of the big practical jokers, always having fun at the expense of others. And I asked Brian Burke whether he had ever been the subject of a Ron Wilson practical joke.
When Ronnie was coaching Washington and they played Vancouver, one of the rare times that we played them, and I invited him over to my office across the hall in the weight room and made the mistake of asking him if he wanted a coffee. Of course, he said yes. So I come back, and my work shoes are sitting there. I was in workout gear. And he leaves. I go on the ice. I work out. I shower. I put my shoes on. They're both full of shampoo. So I was sour at him. And I had a master key.
I wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah. You wouldn't now, maybe.
No, he probably likely would now, or maybe he would, because that Ron Wilson right there looked like the cat who ate the canary. The Brian Burke and Ron Wilson interview with Paul Henrik airs in both the first and second intermission in our game tonight, Leafs-Sabres. And Ron Wilson pulls a fast one on you every night as you wait to do that quick coach's interview. He tries to pretend to blow by it.
Right by you.
It's very funny. All the guys come out laughing at you.
The other thing is in the second period, when I'm going over to talk to him, he'll pick up a stick that's got all the tape on it the players use, and he'll lean on that on my left hand while I'm holding the microphone. You can't see it, but he can see it. He's a lot of fun. He's just thrilled to be coaching the Toronto Maple Leafs and having fun doing it. And I think that the team has responded as well. They've had a pretty good season so far.
He's a serious character in the fact that this is the way it is, and it's my way or the highway to a large extent, but he does it with a whole lot of fun. Joe Bowen, speaking of fun, Thank you for stopping by.
We will see you Saturday.
Yes, we will, and we will see you later on the program, on the broadcast.